Before we begin, I would like to invite you to the Greenfield Inn Psychic Fair on Saturday, February 5th, being held at 749 Forest Road in Greenfield, New Hampshire. I will be attending this event as well as other psychics and metaphysical healers from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. The event is sponsored by Karen Tatro, Spirit Medium. Following the Psychic Fair, Karen will be presenting a gallery reading and spirit investigation. Admission to the Psychic Fair is $5 and pre-registration for the evening events is required. Please visit KarenTatro.com for more information. And now for today's podcast. Welcome to High Vibes with your host Bill G and co-host Nina G. At High Vibes, we're looking into what it means to be a fourth dimensional being in an ever-changing world. We hope that by listening to this podcast, you can feel a greater sense of peace and connection as we collectively raise our energetic vibration to the next level. And now for today's podcast. Hello and welcome to High Vibes. I'm your host, Bill G, and I'm here solo today, and I'm here to guide you through your next frequency upgrade. Just as a reminder, a frequency upgrade is a form of Akashic dowsing that exists outside of space-time, so that anyone listening to this upgrade will receive its benefits no matter where or when you choose to listen to it. How it works is that just before the podcast, I douse a program or condition that High Self decides our listeners needs to hear, right now. I then provide you with some interpretation of that program that comes up, and then I take you through a brief guided meditation where we actually do the clearing work. Before we actually get into the frequency work itself, just a quick programming note. Next week's podcast is going to bring on guest Jamie Westrom, where we're going to explore a treatment protocol that she's been working on to address a certain upper respiratory infection that's been affecting a lot of us, which promises to be very, very interesting. So the predominant protocol in this week's upgrade is with the time temple charts, which is kind of fitting considering that next weekend I will be teaching our January 3-day intensive, which trains people how to use the time temple charts. So the time temple charts that came up in our reading today were from time temple chart number 3, which is called Prescription for a Better Life, and also time temple chart number 2, Looping Dramas. So the combination of these two things, especially the order they came in, is rather interesting. So let's take a closer look at this. So the predominant pattern, that is the pattern that is coming up for us right in the now moment. The soul plane involved is the Atmic plane. The seed sound, or the mantra seed sound, is Yam, which is associated with the fourth chakra. The Dharma, or practice, is honesty. The frequency is every 5 to 6 days, and the color is green. So what is this telling us? The Atmic plane is that within Chinese cosmology showing us the complexity of time, that time is a continuum of endless possibilities, and that when we are completely balanced within that space-time perception, we can then choose our highest path and not choose the path that's going to lead us to something that's going to loop or something that's going to not take us anywhere. Yam, the fourth chakra. The fourth chakra is usually associated with the heart connection to your mind and body, and also your heart connection to the rest of the world around you. When your heart is out of balance, you are feeling lost, you're feeling out of control, you feel as though that you are either too open to love and connection or that you are not open enough. The Dharma of honesty. When honesty is indicated on the chart, The seeker is encouraged to find ways to express their truth without relying too heavily on the promises and beliefs of others, and to not take that which does not truly belong to you. An aspiring fourth density being living in a third density world, we often encounter those who wish to accumulate the things that they need through dishonest means, even those among us who see ourselves as so-called light workers. The idea here is to be honest with yourself when it comes to your path and not to adopt or steal another's path just because their path seems to be more enlightened than your own. In your daily life, adapt a practice that is not only taking that which belongs to you through your labor or through the fair exchange of currency or energy to the person for whom it belonged to determine what is fair. Ask your heart and act accordingly. The frequency is every 5 to 6 days. So what this generally means is that every 5 to 6 days this issue comes up, whether or not I need to be honest or whether or not I can be honest with myself or others. So that's the frequency in which it comes up. The color here is extremely important because the color here is green. When green is indicated, this is indicating that this is something that loops over and over again. And we are not actually learning anything, we are just simply repeating. So in a larger context, what we're looking at is a situation where you have a need to be honest with yourself and a need to be honest with others through your heart chakra and the connection to others around you in order to help find a higher frequency or a higher frequency timeline in which to choose from. But the problem is we're not getting anywhere. It's just happening over and over again, and we think that we're making progress, but then we end up falling backwards on that, and then we end up repeating it over again. So the anchoring Dharma. So the anchoring Dharma is that which exists in the periphery of our understanding or our awareness and is working to bring itself in. The soul plane indicated is the Buddhic. The seed sound is Vam, which is associated with the second chakra. The Dharma is forgiveness, and the frequency is every month. When the Buddhic is indicated on this chart, the focus of the practice is to enable yourself to reach out to all of the other sentient beings in creation from a place of love and light. To remember what it is to be a collective consciousness that is one with the Creator, and to tap into all of the experiences and memories of those beings as though we are all one collective consciousness. The goal of all sentient life is to return to a state of oneness with the Creator. This practice will help you experience that connection, even if only for a few brief moments. When Vam is indicated, the focus of the energy is on the chakra that is connected to sexual energy, survival, and the vital essence that maintains the connection between our soul and the physical vessel. When forgiveness is indicated on the chart, the seeker is encouraged to forgive not only the transgressions that have been placed upon them by others, but to forgive themselves for accepting the inability to forgive in the first place. There is no place within the heart of the Creator to be unforgiving of any aspect of its creation. And as each of us are part of the Creator, nor is there any room in our hearts for such a thing. Third density is challenging enough because it places a test on the limits of our love for the distortion of otherness among those who we refer to as other souls on this plane. As beings of free will, we are capable of extending both love and hate towards those aspects of ourselves, but in the end, we are all simply an extension of the same Creator. And so what use is it to be unforgiving while also seeking pure love and pure light? And then the frequency here is once per month. So what we're seeing here is a extension of the Buddhic plane, which is that connection to love and light, that sense of survival, and also the ability to forgive. So when we think about what's happening in our lives right now, we are struggling with this idea of survival or not survival. Whether this is a money thing or has to do with illness or it has to do with the pandemic, we are struggling here to try and figure out, well, what is true, what is not true, where am I being completely honest with others, and where can I find forgiveness within myself? And it comes up again and again, and it's dragging us down. It is making us doubt who we are and how we're fitting into all of this, and whether or not our reality is even real. So now we're going to move on to the other time temple chart, which is number 2, called looping dramas. The soul plane indicated is again the Atmic. And the permanent atom here is the Atmic permanent atom. So we got a double whammy here on this Atmic plane. Actually, a triple whammy if you count the other one. The drama is helplessness. The frequency is occurring every 2 years, which is rather interesting. The color is yellow with an angstrom of 5980. And so what's happening here? I think this is rather interesting because the Atmic plane, again, we're talking about the realm of possibility, the realm of endless possibilities. The drama of helplessness. I am feeling helpless. I am feeling like a victim in this whirlwind of reality that's happening here. Frequency, every 2 years. Well, what were we doing 2 years ago? What are we doing now? Rather interesting. What's happening here? We're experiencing this sense of helplessness throughout this entire last 2-year period. And now the time temple is saying, okay, we're getting through this loop now. Now it's time to reevaluate. Now it's time to try and clear out that sense of helplessness. Now, before we get into that anchoring drama, it's very important for us to take a look at the color here. The color is yellow. When it's in the warmer colors on the time temple chart, what we're looking at here is a cleansing energy. We are cleansing karma, we are cleansing sin, moving into a period of ascension. And that's essentially what we've been through for the last couple of years. We have gone through this dark night of the soul, trying to figure out what is true, what is your personal truth, what is the truth that you are receiving from others. And also, this has all left us very, very helpless and feeling like we're being just dragged along by the media and being dragged along by life. Now we're moving into a new cycle. And that new cycle is where our anchoring drama happens to be. The soul plane is other. When other is usually indicated, it indicates something that is either outside of the various soul planes that we're talking about, or it can be a multiple of them. And the pendulum is indicating that it is something outside of it. The Buddhic permanent atom, and we had the Buddhic plane within the anchoring Dharma as well. So the Buddhic permanent atom is that balancing point of love, light, acceptance, and forgiveness for all of life's creation. The drama is guilt. We have a tremendous amount of accumulated guilt that we have built up over the many, many years of our lives. And this is guilt over people who we have brought into our lives that we've been victimized, or we have in turn victimized ourselves. This is an inability to speak our truth again. We are feeling very guilty about this. And this is a cycle that has lasted 10 years. And now again, we're moving out of that cycle and moving into a new cycle. And so in order to do that, we need to clear this energy out. finally, we move on to the SRT charts, because here I was looking for, or at least Spirit was looking for this, what is the foundation here of what we are experiencing? And from the blocks and interferences chart, we have dark energies. Now, dark energies is representative here of all of the dark night of the soul that we have gone through up until this point. Again, bringing us back to that sense of helplessness, that sense of guilt, that inability to forgive others or forgive ourselves, and our inability to speak our truth. And so this is all making us feel tremendously guilty, and this is us truly facing that which is our own mortality and our ability to give up our control and give up our lives to an idea that is not within our highest good. So, to sum this all up, it is time for us to let go of all of this. It's time for us to just take all of that dark energy that we have been muttering around in the last 2 years and say, okay, enough. It's time to let go of that and open ourselves up to a new paradigm. So now let's move into the meditation portion of our show. So I want you to sit back and relax. Close your eyes if you can. And bring into your conscious awareness the idea that you have control of which destiny you can connect to in all of your lifetimes, especially with this lifetime. I want you to concentrate here on your fourth chakra and that expansion of love and connection that comes out of that for both your mind-body connection and your connection to everyone else in the cosmos. And also bring into your conscious awareness the need to be honest. How am I really feeling right now? How am I really feeling about the people and the situations in my life? And do I have the ability to truly let go that which is no longer serving me? And to express honesty to all of those other people who may or may not have my best interests at heart. And then I want you to feel connection with your body. Be in your body for this moment and feel what it means to be alive. Take a breath and feel every cell in your body as it radiates with love energy. And now, while in that state, forgive. Forgive yourself for maybe buying into a narrative that turned out not to be true. Forgive others for trying to convince you of something that wasn't true. And let go of any need to be right. And understand that everybody in the whole world is experiencing the same lack of truth or seeking of truth that you are. And we can forgive that. We are now going to ask High Self to allow us to let go of our sense of helplessness, to empower our being with a sense of purpose and love that extends not only to you and to your families, but to everyone in the entire world. We're going to cleanse that sense of helplessness that is repeated every few years, all the way back to the moment you were born, all the way up to the present moment, and all the way into the future. We will also clear all the sense of guilt that you have accumulated over the last decade. Guilt over what has been done, guilt over what has been not done, guilt over what you believed to be true, guilt over just being you. You have nothing to feel guilty about. You are just experiencing life the best way you know how, with the information that you have been given. But now you have new information. Now you have new insight. And now you can let go of any previous knowledge that no longer serves you. And with all of this new knowledge and all of this new insight, you can now connect to the endless possibilities of the space-time continuum and choose a higher path. You can let go of the dark night of the soul, acknowledging its existence, which is something we always have to do, but letting go of any connected emotion to that darkness. It is simply there to contrast the light. And you are the light. Take a nice, deep, cleansing breath. Open your eyes and welcome you to a new day. It is now time to let go of everything that held you back. Harane.
Thank you for listening. For more information about Bill and Nina G, please go to www.vitalbioenergetics.com. See you next time.